Good day, ROFFS analyst James here, and it is currently the week of December 16th, 2024. We hope everyone had a good weekend. Today we'll be taking a quick look at the ocean conditions from Cape Hatteras down into the Florida Keys and the Bahamas using sea surface temperature and ocean color imagery of the conditions that you likely would have encountered if you had gone offshore this past weekend. Overall, one of the biggest changes over the past several weeks has been the northward movement of the loop current water pushing into the eastern Gulf of Mexico off of Tampa Bay and Fort Myers, as shown here. The loop current pushing northwards just off of the Howell Hook Ridge. This loop current has released a filament of warmer water to the north of the main body in this general area. Most of this warmer water will likely continue being pulled westward by a larger loop current eddy centered west of this chart. However, continued southeast flow of cooler water inshore is likely to pull some of this warmer water slightly inshore of the ledge over the next several weeks. This southeast flow of cooler water continues to result in relatively unstable water mass boundaries in the Florida Straits off of the Florida Keys, shown here. This is resulting in several developing Gulf Stream eddy formations moving northwards along the eastern coast of Florida. Of note, however, was a recent push of warmer water pushing inshore near the St. Lucie Inlet and Fort Pierce Inlet, shown here. This has resulted in lingering warmer conditions closer to shore off of Melbourne to Cape Canaveral as well. As this Gulf Stream water continues moving northward, these Gulf Stream eddy formations begin to strengthen, as usual, as they move offshore of northeast Florida. As you can see, one of the larger eddies shown here off of Daytona, St. Augustine area, and moving into the Georgia, South Carolina area, interacting with the Charleston Ridge and developing into larger eddy formations off of Charleston and continuing northeast. Keep in mind, inshore conditions have largely remained dominated by tidal forces over the past few weeks as well. This is causing some of this relatively warm inshore water in about 15, 20, 30 fathoms from Charleston to Cape Fear and Cape Lookout to remain relatively in the same area over the past several weeks as the inshore water ebbs and flows to the northeast and southwest. Looking in the Bahamas, we have observed a clockwise rotating eddy formation to the southeastern corner of this chart area off of Cat Island and Eleuthera, bringing some of the warmer water from the southeast moving into the northwest area. However, this warmer water is being kept a little bit at bay by some of the Gulf Stream water pushing eastward just off of the ledges of Walker's Key and Abaco. That being said, we have observed some of this cooler blue water moving westward further offshore of Abaco, pushing into like the Great Abaco Canyon and further offshore of Walker's Key, interacting with the eastern side of the Gulf Stream a bit, resulting in some boundaries a little bit to the northwest of Walker's Key. Flipping over to our ocean color imagery, while we have been dealing with some of the clouds over the past few days, you can see the bluer loop current water pushing into the western Gulf of Mexico and then entering the Florida Straits to become the Gulf Stream, with the bluer water offshore due to the unstable boundaries off the Florida Keys and then pushing further north. Additionally, you can see the larger eddy formation developing off of Charleston and Georgetown, with a smaller eddy formation off Cape Lookout and Cape Hatteras as well. And then some of that bluer water, warm water off of to the east of Eleuthera, moving northwest, and some of it moving southwest to west, passing further offshore north of Abaco. Remember, these ocean conditions are always changing, so be sure to head to ROFFS.com or call our office at 321-723-5759 to order updated analyses for each of these areas. Have a good week.